I couldn't get on camera, bro. As much as I literally will talk for 2 hours on camera now, and it's live. I don't even edit this footage. Like, most people are in the box of that they only believe in what the science textbooks told them from high school. And it's still super powerful. So I got real clear on the mission for the streams. I help young men who've been struggling with productivity business advice find the missing link to their success, Christ. Because that's what happened for me. I tell people that all the time. I talked about this last night. Went out for my buddy's birthday, and it's like, I couldn't get on camera, bro. As much as I literally will talk for 2 hours on camera now, and it's live. I don't even edit this footage. Like, you guys are just watching. This shit'll happen. You guys have been here long enough. Sometimes the fucking audio fucks up. Like, all this stuff. I couldn't even turn on the camera until I was able to accept Christ into my life and realize, like, this life is essentially nothing. Like, it's not the whole picture, right? It's still important. Live a righteous life. I do believe that. But there's something coming after this. So it's just the two opposite sides of the spectrum. There's a person, like, I remember my older brother, he did content before me, and he was explaining, like, marketing tips online for, he would basically create a video and use it to functionally sell something, but then also post it to YouTube too, so you could find it organically as well. So he was very comfortable, like, showing a PowerPoint, but I'm just saying it's like the two opposite sides of the spectrum. From going as far as to saying, when my brother would flip the camera on me and go, like, say this to the camera, and I would freeze. I would literally, you can ask him, I would freeze. I, like, don't know how to talk on camera for the longest time. And it comes from, like, this fear of, like, oh, am I gonna say a mistake? How do I look? It's like all these things that go through the human's brain, and you can test that theory. Go put the camera on anybody you know and watch how they freeze. Like, even if they're a very confident person, it's not really about, like, am I confident or am I not? It's a very particular skill. Jersey070 says you're a natural. Thank you. But what I'm really getting at is that it's a skill, okay? You have to get on camera, probably look like an idiot the first few times. Like, if we just go play my first streams, like, there's, like, dead air. There's, like, dead air. Like, I don't know what to talk about. And essentially what I'm doing here is you guys are sending chats. I read the chats. But I'm talking to my computer screen. Like, there's no one in here. So you have to, like, develop that. But, yeah, we've come so far on the stream. I'll say this before we get started in the routine stuff. I'll just leave it up. But I don't actually... I guess we can leave this screen up. So a lot of people think that they're debating one religion versus the next religion. Is a Jewish kid versus a Christian kid. But that's very rarely the case. What I really understand is now it's like people who believe in only what they can see, taste, touch, and smell. And then there's people who understand that there's something more happening. And that was basically the gist of it. Anytime there was someone that I was speaking to, and it's like true all the time, but I was very clear to me last night. Like, I was talking to this kid for like 30 minutes. And we were kind of explaining back and forth. And then I found out that it's not about Christianity specifically. It's just like a lot of people have to work to overcome the fact that there's stuff going on behind the scenes, bro. And I gave this example. It's like, if you can understand that the computer is like your life, right? And when you click Safari or you click Chrome, you're clicking the icon. But there's all this code in the back that you don't see. So that's what the real world is like. That's the real world. If you get up right now and go touch your friend on the shoulder, like, you're touching him, but that's the icon. There's all this other spiritual aspect that's not being shown to you. So that's what I really want to get across to people. It's like, you may think you're just not a Christian, but the greater, larger picture issue that you have, I think it's a perfect illustration. And I was talking to my buddy earlier before stream, and I was saying, like, this is what Jesus did, bro. Like, Jesus did this. There's a moment in the Gospels where he's speaking to a crowd. Christ Jesus is walking around, and he's speaking to a large crowd, and he gives a parable. And a parable is like the metaphors and analogies that I often use, right? And one of the disciples taps Jesus on the shoulder and is like, why are you saying this? Like, this is not what you told me. And Jesus says, look, not everyone has eyes to see and ears to hear. Not everyone can just get the raw shit. You kind of have to break it down for the person in a way that they can understand. So I was like, whoa, like, Jesus said that? I'm going to try it. Like, I'm just going to give it a go. So I've been doing that. And like All American World Champion says, the analogies are way more effective than if I memorized a Bible verse. But I have those too, like, I love quoting him directly. But what I find is this was his technique. This was Christ Jesus' technique. And I'm going to try it. And I'm going to use it. And it's been working wonders. So that's what I really want to get across here. So in the title of the stream, it says, Christ talk. And that's what we're doing. But whenever you see, even yourself, if you're watching this, you may think you have a problem with Christianity, but I guarantee you that is a very small minority of people. Most people are in the box of that they only believe in what the science textbooks told them from high school, period. Maybe they watch a lot of science TV and they now see science and God as opposites, but that's not true. Science is just how we understand creation. It's not the antithesis of God. It's like, that's not how that works. So I just want to be very clear about that before we jump into the routine stuff. But if you guys have any Christian questions, this is a phenomenal format to ask the question. Type something in chat. If you want to clarify, or just if you have notes yourself. If you guys have ever spoken to people who don't have a relationship with Christ, what is some of the things that you've said to them that have helped that person understand? I would really be curious to see, so you guys can type that into chat. But